One of Donald Trump's biggest campaign promises over and over and over again was that he was going to take off the tax on tips, on Social Security, on overtime. And you can see here, it's all over Truth Social. No tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security. Over and over and over and over again. And I have to apologize to you because as that whole thing was going on, now, yes, I did say many times that he wouldn't end up doing that. But once it became clear to me that he was going to try to do something like that, the way I covered it is I kept pointing out to people that it's likely to produce, for most people, working Americans, basically nothing. It isn't going to be anything compared to what the rich get out of this. But I have to apologize because it turns out I was unfortunately still giving him way too much credit, because it turns out, no, they're really just not doing those things, which became clear during a heated exchange between Representative Tom Suozzi and Thomas Barthold, the chief of staff of the Joint Committee on Taxation. Watch this.
On tips, the president has said, your tips will be 100% yours. Does this tax bill continue the payroll tax on people's tips?
Yes, it does, Mr.
Overtime, the president said your overtime will be tax-free. Does this bill continue the payroll tax on overtime?
It does not exempt overtime from the payroll tax.
The president has said he's going to remove taxes on Social Security. Does this bill remove taxes on Social Security benefits?
The legislation provides an increased exemption amount.
But does it remove taxes on Social Security benefits as promised by the president?
It does not change Social.
So maybe a little bit on the Social Security, a tiny bit, not the whole thing like he said, and on the others, no. They're not doing that. So I was irresponsible. I apologize for that. I just focused on I thought that was a fig leaf. It's like, yeah, let's give the poors $80 a year or whatever while we bring in 500,000, a million, 10 million. No, I was wrong. They're not doing it, actually. Brett, what do you think?
Here's what's sad is like, I mean, first of all, they are who we thought they were. We knew this would happen. We've been saying this for a very long time. And like, I don't know what else to do besides keep saying it, is that Trump makes a lot of promises and essentially extends a holographic olive branch to folks that are not in the rich class of people he actually seeks to put money in the pockets of, and saying stuff like no tax on tips. And folks vote for him because those promises are made before he has power. Once he has power, he does not follow through on that. And somehow what ends up happening is like Trump will stand up and be like, you better do it, guys, in the legislature. And then they don't deliver, but like all people that loved him already remember is he was like the guy who was for no tax on tips. And it's incumbent upon us and everybody to find a successful way to communicate to folks that believed this guy who always lies, that he always lies, and this is another example.
Yeah, I mean, they're gonna get and like. So they're gonna look and see that they're paying taxes on this.
No,
they're gonna see that, right? Or no, it's gonna look like nothing to them, I guess.
Because payroll tax, it depends, right? Because payroll taxes is a portion of your tax, right? But it exists somewhere else in your tax like form. But yeah, we need to point out
it's complex enough they won't notice.
Yeah, and here's what's sad too, is like if you work as a bartender and you get taxes and your income is somewhere around the threshold where you're not supposed to be paying taxes yet, and you try to hide these tips, here is a mechanism by which you could get caught in an audit. And as this show has been reporting for a very long time, the poor people are the ones the IRS is still equipped to audit.
Yeah.
And the rich people are the ones who can hide 100 times what you would ever make in tips in your life and never get caught for it.